You ever notice how some people don't just like cats? They feel deeply connected to them. Like there's this quiet, unspoken understanding. A bond that doesn't need words to exist. Maybe you've seen someone cancel plans just to stay home, or smile at a random stray like it's an old friend. From the outside, it might seem a little unusual. Why cats? Why not something easier to understand? But here's the twist. Loving cats isn't random at all. It reveals something deeper about how a person sees the world. Cats are not like other companions. They don't chase approval or attention. They don't perform affection on demand. Sometimes they barely react at all. And yet, for some people, that's the appeal. It reflects comfort with independence and space, a kind of love that doesn't need to be loud, one that exists quietly in the background. It's subtle, calm, and emotionally secure, and for some, that's the most real kind of connection. Think about how a cat shows affection. It's never constant or predictable. Sometimes it ignores you completely, and then suddenly it chooses you. It sits beside you or follows you around. That unpredictability creates meaning. Affection feels earned, not expected, and that makes it more valuable. Cat lovers tend to appreciate that deeply. They prefer authenticity over forced connection. There's something psychological about control here, or more accurately, the lack of it. You can't control a cat's behavior. It does what it wants, when it wants. And cat lovers don't fight that. They adapt instead of resisting. They learn patience over time. They learn to let go of control. Not everything needs to follow a plan, and that mindset shapes how they relate to others. There's also a link to introversion. Not always, but often enough to notice. Cat lovers tend to enjoy their own company. They don't need constant noise or stimulation. Silence doesn't make them uncomfortable. In fact, it can feel peaceful. A cat sitting quietly nearby is enough, more meaningful than a crowded room. It's not loneliness, it's selective connection. They choose carefully where their energy goes. It's also about how they perceive the world. Cat lovers notice small details, things most people completely overlook. A slight ear movement or mood shift, tiny signals that speak volumes. This reflects deeper awareness, a sensitivity to unspoken communication. They read between the lines naturally. They understand what isn't directly said, and that makes their perception more nuanced.
There's an emotional strength behind it too. Cats can be distant or unpredictable, sometimes even completely indifferent. But cat lovers don't take it personally. They don't see it as rejection. They accept it as part of the nature. That shows emotional resilience, a willingness to love without constant reassurance. They don't depend on validation, and that kind of independence is rare. But when a cat shows affection, it matters, because it's not automatic, it's chosen. And that choice carries weight. It feels deeper and more genuine, more powerful than constant attention. Cat lovers connect with this idea. They don't just want to be liked, they want to be chosen, not out of habit but intention, and that difference changes everything. Cat lovers often see the world differently. They're comfortable with complexity. They don't need things to be simple. Cats themselves are full of contradictions, loving yet distant, calm yet wild, and that duality makes sense to them. They don't try to simplify it. They embrace it instead. This often leads to deeper thinking and a more creative, reflective mind. So, loving cats isn't just a preference. It's a reflection of perspective, how you see control and connection, how you understand independence and emotion. It's about finding meaning in subtle moments and beauty in quiet presence. It shows a mind that truly observes, not just looks, but understands. And maybe it reveals something about you, because small connections often hold deep truths.